So go ahead and record.
Okay, we're recording right now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Leslie Klein, owner of Frequency Wellness Lifestyle, and I promote the Healy. The Healy is a wellness product, a wearable device from Germany that uses frequency and microcurrents to balance and harmonize the body. Did you know that you actually have 4 bodies? The mental body, the physical body, the emotional body, and the spiritual body. This innovative device is brand new to the United States market. It just became available May of 2020. And with me today, I have 2 experts and Healy users, Michael Jeffries and Bridget Riggs. Michael introduced me to the Healy through a mutual friend, Maria Malik, and he is a licensed clinical pastoral counselor who uses essential oils and EFT, or emotional freedom technique, which is also known as tapping. He also added Healy to his repertoire. So welcome to Michael. And
Thank
Bridget.
you.
Thank you.
Bridget is my other guest. She is a retired molecular biologist who ran a cancer research lab for 8 years. She was wrongly diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease 10 years ago and restored her health naturally using different energetic methods besides diet and exercise, meditation, tuning forks, and JSJ, which is Jin Shin Jitsu. She is a Chopra certified primordial sound meditation instructor and also my sister. Welcome.
Thank you.
So
Thank
Bridget, tell me about your health journey. How were you failed by the medical and food industries?
Well, being in the medical field, I studied cancer, was my research. I started not feeling well. My health started going downhill. I asked a lot of questions being a researcher. The doctors wouldn't listen. I kept on telling them I didn't feel well, many ER visits, kept on telling them it was the food, possibly the gluten that was bothering me. Of course, all of them said diet has nothing to do with what's going on here. Sent me home, told me it was all in my head. So after 5-6 years of this happening, I started asking a lot of questions, started doing my research. I was eating well, healthy, all that, meditated, exercised, but I still didn't feel well. It wasn't until I quit my job due to the health, I had Hashimoto's, the side effects, depression, fatigue, brain fog. It was horrible. And plus starting menopause at the same time was just a disaster. So I quit my job due to health. And it took me about 2 years to start figuring out what was going to work. And I restored my health. I'm not on any medications right now. I do a self-help practice daily, including meditation and my Jinshin practice, which is just basically there's 26 points in your body that you put on, hold, or just touch different parts. Just like acupuncture, it works with the Chinese medicine meridian system. And I fell in love with this art. And it's an art because there's no rules with it. There's books that Mary wrote, 2 books, self-help books that I've been studying, and there's many classes you can take. But when I started doing the tuning forks in November of 2019, that's when I saw a big shift, not only with my nutrition, but feeling well, the energy started coming back. And then just recently, I learned about the Healy and have been practicing with it just a few days. I went to see my sister for a few weeks, and I could really feel some changes happening. So because of the information that's on here, the data that's in here, it's just amazing. It's what I've been studying for the last few years about frequencies, and that we are, energetic beings with magnetic energy around us. They've already documented our field and also the chakras you can see here. So this is from the biotuning forks that I use. And because of that and how I improved, I just thought, you know what, this frequency stuff is really a thing. And if you start studying quantum physics, and you'll realize that we're not human beings. We have 90% of our matter are microorganisms, not our body, our DNA, or human cells. We have a lot less cells of human than we do bacteria, microorganisms, parasites, viruses, all that. And I don't think people know this. So again, it's all about being healthy and restoring your health and harmonizing, and through frequency, this here is going to change life for people. So that's why I'm excited to not only use this daily, but do my practices as well, and then teach people how to use the Healy device, not only for themselves, family members, animals, everything. So it's awesome. So thank you for introducing me to that.
Oh, yeah. You know so much about being a scientist. That's why you're not just my sister, you're an expert. So, Michael, tell me how about your counseling practice and how it evolved using these natural methods that led you to Healy.
On my journey of helping people, I've had the privilege and honor of working with the Los Angeles mission here in Tampa as a chaplain. Helping the homeless, the mentally challenged, the substance abuse, heroin addict, you name it. We had a house full. And I was always searching scripturally to help them spiritually to change from being addicted to being free. And as my journey began, I ended up at the Salvation Army, helping the same clientele, just different faces. And so what I discovered was that in my journey, I was able to pray and to bring in a spirit guide that I call it the Holy Spirit, that would give them truth and set them free, but there were still limitations. And so that led me on to discovering more and more of understanding of what our emotions are. And I discovered there were frequencies. And so emotions are trapped energy. Reading through some of the books of Bruce Lipton, Dr. Bradley Nelson, many scientists that I studied, that kind of took me outside of the box spiritually through a Christian background, but I was looking for the answers. I wanted to have results and not just practice an art that would just kept people in a cycle. And so as I was studying that, the mind-body connection with the EFT, and I love what you were talking about, Bridget, about just placing on the different points, which is the meridians and the different area. Well, the EFT is almost the same thing of tapping on the meridians, but it was done so quickly that it had a profound mind-body shift, that it connected to these folks that were able to go from the right brain to the left brain, bringing the neural pathways together to release those trapped emotions. And that's what essential oils did too. I learned to help to identify the feelings of being trapped. Anger was purification, fear was sandalwood. It just went on and on and on. Abandonment was lavender. And so when we could figure out what emotion was resonating at the highest, we were able to administer oil through the nose, get into the oil factory, help those receptor sites to release those trapped emotions and connect the body, do the prayer, and voila, we had some tremendous success in helping. And so I predicated that over a period of time, and then I went into private practice for about 10 years, and 2 years ago I retired. I shut down my office, but I'm still practicing at home and through Zoom. And so I was looking for more information. My health started to deteriorating, and I was trying to figure out why I was doing what I was doing, and I was very interested in frequencies. And so I bought a Rife machine, similar Rife machine. It's another name for it. Great machine, but it was a very time intense in studying to master. And so when I was introduced to Healy, I said, oh my goodness, this is so much easier to have the body be scanned and to know what your top 3 or 5 different frequencies are needed and to focus on those. And so I bought mine in May, and I haven't turned back. It's been fantastic. And when I looked at some of the programs, especially the mental programs, it all related to addiction work. And so I'm going to get the book here real quick. And so when I looked at those, I said, oh my gosh, this is a home run for addiction work, because it related to all those things. And so when you're looking at the inner strength, well, when you don't have self-confidence, when you feel fearful, you reach for inner confidence. I thought that's a perfect example. And then you have emotional well-being. My goodness, your emotions control you. Trapped emotions, feeling good, being content, inner unity, well-being soul, and mental balance. I said, wow, I got to have this. And so it offers many, 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 many more products, but it brings your body back into balance. It brings that resonance back into balance so that everything can be in place. Now, Leslie, it shows that are you the recorder? Because
No, I am.
it should show that I'm speaking. It should.
Yeah, I'm
Bridget's
still,
recording.
yeah, you're green around your border, so.
Oh, okay, because you're talking now, so I'm green. Okay, so that's good. So what it indicates is the one who's speaking would light up as green. So
Correct.
yes, okay, I got it. Amateur photographer here.
We're all
Anyway,
learning.
We're all learning. It's a new world.
wait
all
a minute.
learning.
I'll fix it. I'll fix it. I'll turn it on here. Wait, get my Healy on.
So have you tried the Healy on some of your clients?
I have. I had a client that was a severe alcoholic, and we were able to calm her down to a point where that she felt that she could move forward in her recovery. So I was just blown away by it because it was rapid. I think I used maybe a couple different programs on her, and she just changed. I said, wow, we got a home run here.
How many sessions?
2 or 3.
And how many programs did you run in each session? Do you recall?
Well, I used the cables because we were trying to get to the core of it, to the root of it. And so we were using some of the ones that were, I can't remember, inner unity, emotional well-being, but she had a shift where that she said, hey, I really want to try to stop. And that's been, she told me that was, had not occurred to her for a very, very long time.
Wow.
Just her willingness to try to stop.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah,
So
it is. So
suggestions. And the thing is, this is a wearable device that you don't have to go to a practitioner to get. This is available for the everyday consumer. It's one device, but there are 4 different packages. And the first one is just the Healy Gold, and that comes with the 8 programs in the Healy Gold program set. And then you get one of the program groups with that. And then the next level up is the Healy Health, right?
yes.
And that includes, I think, 8 more program groups. And then the Healy Health Plus has all of the 120 programs that are in 16 different categories. And then the Resonance is the top of the line, which is what you and Bridget have. And that actually scans the body and then lets you know which programs and program groups, and then programs that resonate for you. Is that correct?
Yes, it's going to pick out the top frequencies that are relevant for you at this moment. Because we could change in a second. We could go out and something very tragic happen and just change all of our perception of things. And so at the time, that's what it's doing. It's reading our bioenergetic fields, and it's processing it in real time, and then it feeds us back saying, okay, you need a gold. You need to run a gold program. But what I've noticed with that gold program, for instance, if it said I needed a gold program, maybe Meridian 1 and the bioenergetic. So those are 3 programs that have multiple programs within themselves. So what I like to do,
right?
yes,
Program groups.
Yes. So what I like to do is take the top one, run it again, run the analysis again. So now it's going to bring up the first top 3 that you need. So it might be release, pure, relax, or whatever it is. And so now I know I can run this one, and this one after the other.
Gotcha. Cool. And
You
Bridget,
could-
I'm sorry.
Oh, can I add to that? Because in the residence program too, once you do the analysis, then it gives you the different choices you can choose from. You can also at that moment in time decide to vibrate right then and there at either 3 seconds up to 8 hours. But on today's Zoom call, they said the best was 2.5 minutes and 37 seconds or something like that. Can you elaborate?
They are off. It's just what the practitioners have developed over the years through thousands of different cases. And so what they do is they say this is what seems to work for the human body or an animal. So that it'll have those, and they're off. It's like 2 minutes, 56 seconds, 26 minutes and 43 seconds. I mean, they're off.
Yeah.
But it's what they have developed over a series of trial and error on that one there. So you can run it on what's called the bioenergetic field. In other words, after you do your analysis, that you can pick the frequency, time, and run the vibrate. What I was referring to was after you do the analysis and you have the goal plan, and then you go and do a second time, then you can use the cables, which is a more intense, direct to the body. And that's what I did with my client. Was when she was feeling all these feelings, we were able to pinpoint those particular ones for her, and then run the cables on it, and it just made her at ease.
Right. So it balanced and it harmonized her body, or her energetic body.
Yes.
Bridget,
exactly.
You were talking about a little bit about the body. Can you explain about the biofield and how we're energy beings and quantum physics, and kind of make that, explain that to the layperson that maybe just is now finding out about quantum physics?
Sure. So I studied at the Chopra Center, and meditation was one thing that he was doing, but the Ayurvedic experience and what their study has is the different chakras that you have. You have 7 different chakras. Well, there's really 12, but 7 that we traditionally study. Each one has, for example, solar plexus, which is in the gut of your stomach. That one is about self-esteem, goal setting, and achievement. Now, when that's out of balance, then you're going to feel some disharmony. So you might feel like sour stomach, or just you hear some news and it hurts your stomach, or you don't feel well. Then you're going to realize, okay, I need to help with my solar plexus. The root chakra, when you're kind of flighty in the head and you just can't focus on anything, go outside 20 minutes barefoot outside. It helps with inflammation, number 1. And inflammation is the root basis of all disease and cancer and any disharmony in your body. It's the inflammation from the food and your thoughts that are causing these disharmonies in your body. So what happens is they get trapped energetically somewhere around your biofield. It's like a turret. It's constantly moving all this energy around. But you might have a hip problem here, but when you start really looking into it, you realize that it's a lot of busyness and overdoing and overthinking. So you need to go out there and ground yourself. See, we're so disattached to our bodies and our feelings nowadays, because you got your cell phones, you got the TV going, you got kids crying, you got drama going on, stress. And so we get out of touch, and we need to kind of go back and harmonize and figure out what's going on in our body. Why do I have this headache? What's happening here? As well as if you had a skin rash, let's say you wake up in the morning, hey, there's a problem here. You need to pay attention.
That's so true about grounding. And
right. And don't just pop a pill.
Yes.
Stop popping pills. The body knows innately how to heal itself, but unfortunately, our society doesn't. They call it woo-woo. They call it, oh, you're just being witchy, or however they want to describe it. But Chopra made a multi-billion-dollar business now in just meditation alone, and now he's advancing. He's also promoting a flute or a little sound frequency
Whistle.
of love. Yeah, 528 hertz. You do blow that, you do feel, just like the bowls, the crystal bowls and things like that. So it is all about energy. It's just a different way of thinking. It's
Right.
new science. It's not like he was saying with Bruce Lipton. You got Dispenza. You got so many different medical doctors that were on that side of medical, do no harm. And then they realize all the fraud in the research. And, the local doctor doesn't even get the research papers till 17 years later. This is a problem, okay? This is why it takes 10 years to diagnose someone with an autoimmune disease. This is why diabetes is it's an epidemic. All the Hashimoto's with women, big epidemic right now. And it's because we're so out of touch by our bodies. We need to, and this here and doing what I do, self-help, what Mike does, that's going to change everything. I mean, this is just a simple tool, but if you don't use it, you're not going to go anywhere. You got to decide, I come first. Love yourself enough to care to help because you can't help anybody if you're in a pain body or if you don't feel well. I've been there for years.
Right.
It's exhausting. It's horrible. And this tool, you don't have to do anything. I mean, it would be great if you could go out and ground, drink your water, meditate, hold a couple of fingers, happy thoughts, EFT, something. But we have to take control of our bodies and of our health, because the medical system is just going to use and abuse you. That's what they do. They care about making their money, not about your health. Back in the day, the doctors—
You made a very, very valid point. You need to drink good water, some kind of filtered, some kind of energy infused, some kind of—
you do it with the Healy.
Alkaline water. But because we are water based, our body can't communicate if there's no water.
Right.
So if you are dehydrated, your signals are not going to connect. It works like a battery. As a man, if our batteries don't work, first thing we do, go out there and check the water. There's water in the battery. Okay, there's no flow of electricity, and so that's a very basic step, is to start grounding yourself.
Yeah.
And start with good water. Now we can go to Healy.
Right.
Healy will help those things. Now, the resonance really takes the guesswork out of a lot of things.
Right.
You could start at the gold. The gold has a lot of things, but you're going to have to do trial and error. Try to figure out what's going on. And when I heard you talking, Bridget, was that the question should be a lot of times, why do I feel the way I do?
Right.
Is it emotional? Did I eat too much pepperoni last night? Do I need to stop carbs for a while? Do I need to start eating more greens? And we don't understand that.
Right.
A lot of times the mechanism for thirst also triggers hunger.
Right.
And if you drink the water, you wouldn't be hungry.
Right.
So the journey starts at self-awareness.
Correct. And
And
through
then the
meditation.
Healy, you've got to be able to connect with the inner self.
Right.
The Holy Spirit, God, grounding, the divine, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
It was delivered to you, and it's there.
Right.
We just have lost our way of reconnecting.
Correct.
That's what the Healy does. It helps to bring us back into balance so that we can have contact with the divine, the higher power, your
Right.
intuition.
Right.
And that's what this journey is a journey of enlightenment and also of the divine, of what to do next.
Correct.
And I know with the Healy, they recommend, number one, you drink a lot of water. I think
Yes.
it's like 20 ounces before, during, and after. And then after you do a session with the Healy, it's important to ground yourself, which is like what Bridget said, barefoot on Mother Earth for like 20 minutes, either walking or sitting, but with your feet in the ground. And I think that any excess current, microcurrent, or frequency goes into the earth.
Correct.
So maybe, Bridget, you could talk about what grounding is, and also they're grounding mats, like you were talking about. There's grounding mats for the bed. There's grounding mats you can put in your chair, I guess, and like where at your desk where you work. Let's talk a little bit about that. Okay, you've got one. Do you sit on that one?
I rest my feet on it.
Oh, okay. Oh,
When
okay.
when I'm at my computer or I'm on the phone, my feet are on it.
Because we're getting EMFs all the time from our devices and our phones and everything. And now we're, who knows about 5G, which is supposed to be so detrimental to our energy fields.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what that is all about, how grounding works, and more about the energy body.
So being that we're electrical beings, think of us, we have charges in there. So if you get too much excitement, what do? You're like this. So you need to, we're supposed to be very calm and, feeling balanced and at homeostasis. So if you have too much charge in you, too much energy, it can stagnate in your body, causing a shoulder ache, causing a headache, or whatever it is. It could be a product that you eat or one that you put on deodorant's a good one. If it has aluminum, your body does not need to have any metals in it. Your molars, I got them all taken out because of the mercury is so detrimental. And again, all these things that I learned these last 20 years has gotten me better and better health-wise. But again, we are electrical beings, so we have to go outside. They make these houses with all these plastics and fire retardant chemicals and stuff, and every season you need to go out, open your house. I mean, all this gas offing of all these plastics is the worst thing for us. No wonder we have headaches. No wonder and these children, my granddaughter, she's already exposed to the EMFs, all the TVs, the phones. It makes me sick because, I mean, thank God she's got me and JSJ and the Healy in her life, because I'm not worried about it, because we'll be able to take the energies that are too much in the body, causing disharmony and disease, out with harmonizing it with the body. And a lot of it, you don't really know that you have a problem until you have it, and then maybe it's too late, so you have to be aware of your body and the self-awareness. That's why meditation is so important, because it really makes you self-aware. When I was sick and in this pain body, I couldn't even think straight. I mean, and I was eating well, but not well enough, and I had too many toxins in my body. Child of the 60s, TV dinners, aluminum foil. I mean, I would never even touch aluminum foil again because of what it does to the body, So it's all about having a different view of the body, and not the medical, hey, it's your chemical, so here, take a pill, make it better. No, we're frequencies. And I wish I had my tuning fork with me. I would hit it and put it on my body, and it does feel very harmonious. And this is a physical device. This, you're not really going to feel it like you would a tuning fork, but you do feel it, and you end up feeling so well. You want to share this with everybody. So
maybe I can jump in here for just a little bit and concur with what you're saying, is that I believe that, and what I've learned through Clint Ober, he was the kind of the granddaddy of grounding. And what he was saying was that the EMFs were loading us up with positive ions. And the grounding part of it is to uptake the negative ions to balance us out. And so that's why we like to be around any moving water, ocean, lakes, creeks, dams, anything that the fresh water is moving. And so that ionization helps us to feel good. Makes us feel better. And that's why I ground. I have a grounding mat on my bed.
Yep.
At my computer station. I have them on my phone. There's other crystals and rocks that you can get to help to attenuate the frequencies. Our body spins clockwise. The EMF spins counterclockwise and clashes with us. And so what happens is, when we are in tune, and that's what the Healy helps to do, is to attenuate some of the frequencies, is putting us back in order, is that we're harmonizing together now. And anyone who plays a guitar knows that when strings are out of balance, they do this when they're out of tune. But when they're in tune, they harmonize. And that's what we're looking for, is harmonization, for our bodies to be in harmony with each other. The foods that we take helps to create energy in our body. Whether it's water, salt, minerals, everything that we take creates energy inside of us. That energy gives off waste. And if we don't get rid of that waste, and because of the cell is either positive or negatively charged, so that the waste nutrients can get in and waste can get out. If it's out of frequencies, then it's trapped. The waste is trapped inside, and that is called oxidation. And that's what starts the inflammation, and then that starts the downhill journey. And so if we can start the grounding, the water, the elimination, good foods, good frequencies, that we can optimize our bodies.
And also thoughts have frequencies. So you're thinking bad thoughts, you're vibrating very low. A sick body vibrates very low. When you start having happy thoughts and you vibrate better, no virus can come into that. No bacteria can come into and cause harm, because your body will adapt and adjust and be back in homeostasis. So very important, everything you just said. It's not one thing.
The emotion, your body doesn't know if it's true or not. It's just given a command. And so when you thoughts are fight, flight, or freeze, your body goes into action.
Right.
And so if you are in constant negative thoughts, your body is in constant movement, and it's not at peace. That's why it's so important to meditate. That's why it's so important to have a prayer life, to go into your closet, to be self-indulgent, if you will, is to go inward, to have that connection, to have peace, and to have the right frequencies.
You need to reset as a human being, just like a computer. Thank God we have the computer now, so we have an analogy to go by. But again, we've lost touch like big time. I mean, the rubber shoes on us in the 60s, that's what kind of made everything kind of go, many things. But that's just one thing. If I would have known to wear moccasins all my life, I don't think I would have ever gotten sick. The Indians, what they do, they were in the ground all the time.
The reason that happened was that the leather soles breathed, and not only that, they collected water and it grounded us. And like you said, the rubber insulated us, and we were no longer grounding, pulling up millions of ions. I can't remember. Your feet mirror your body. Your torso to the top, that mirrors your body. And so when you ground yourself, you are grounding from the bottom up. So your feet have thousands of nerve endings. And so when you walk on the sand or the water, it pulls up negative ions by the zillions into your body to help bring the positive charge to your cells to a balanced negative, so that you can have the in and out, the intake of nutrients, the outtake of toxins out of your body.
So I'm going to end us with one last question to you guys. So who can benefit from the Healy? Bridget. Who can
Everyone, everybody, every animal, everyone around you, if they don't want to believe it, just like with Jin Shin. I can harmonize my body by just simply holding my fingers. I could also, with intent, direct it to that person over there that's all grumpy in the corner, being all nasty. And so it helps, it's frequency. It goes out 8 feet, our biofield 8 feet wide. So I come into a room with other people, we're all interacting with everybody. So when someone's not vibrating well, you feel it. You might not say anything, but you do feel it. So everybody, everything, frequency is where it's at now. Like Einstein said, it's frequency. We're not chemical beings. Just stop taking those damn pills, because all you got to do is hum. That's all you got to do. Voice, sing. If we all sang, nobody would be sick. So.
If you're living, you need frequencies. because everything is frequencies. We use music, we use feelings, and face-to-face contact with people. It's all about feelings and frequencies, rather. So we call it feelings, but it's actually frequencies. And so everybody can benefit with good frequencies.
Yes.
Great. Well, we've come up to our scheduled time here, so I'm going to end our call, our Zoom meeting here, and I want to thank you both for answering all these questions, giving us your expertise. So I hope that this helps, and I think we'll probably do a couple more Zooms and delve a little bit deeper into some of these different areas, because this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yep.
So
Yes.
thank you again,
Thank
both
you.
of you. For your,
Our pleasure. Our pleasure.
Thank you.
all right. Have a blessed day.